Well, good morning guys, welcome back to another video. It's great to be back out. I had a slow drive from Vancouver this morning. Now it was really frosty, it's quite cold now, winter's definitely on its way. I had a slow drive up through Pit Meadows and it was absolutely beautiful with all the frost on the ground. Now the only thing was, it is a location that I've got planned to go to when we do get a lot of frost and we get them cold conditions. Once the sun broke the horizon, it was really harsh and it was really bright. Now today is going to be a blue sky day, so that's the reason I've came to Golden Ears. I've came to the forest where we're going to get a little bit longer with the camera this morning. But for now, I've came to a location where I was previous. You'll remember I photographed those ferns and the mossy forest floor because it's close to where you park the car and we haven't got much time this morning. I thought I'll come to this location first, but absolutely beautiful. A lot of the ferns have died off now, but it doesn't really make much difference. It's still going to add colour to the scene. You know, we've got these lovely mosses, different shades of green, different shades of yellow, and then we've got these copper coloured ferns in amongst it. They have shriveled up quite a bit now, so I was interested to come today to see how it was looking. Now I knew we weren't going to get any frost in here, it would have been nice, but because it's sheltered you don't tend to get frost within the forest unless it's a really hard frost. And I hope you enjoyed my last video where I went over to Vancouver Island, spent some time with Adam Gibbs. I've had an absolute brilliant weekend, what a laugh. We've got them amazing conditions down by the lake. The first day I went out with Adam and we both thoroughly enjoyed it. Caught up with Fototripper and went up to Oyster River. Two fabulous locations and I plan to go there in the future. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of that video, and if you'd like to see us catch up with Adam Gibbs and Fototripper again, it'd be nice to hear what you think. Now they do have videos as well coming out from that weekend, so stay tuned on their channel. I'm sure they'll have two great videos to show you in the coming weeks to come. So I'm going to crack on. I'm going to find my first composition of the day, see how long we get before this sun comes up, but great to be back out. Well, I've got my first composition set up and I'm sure you'll agree it's a beautiful sight in front of us. Now, I've been looking for areas of light. I've said to you in the past, if you see areas of light, go and investigate because there's always images to be had within that light. Now, we've got a gap in the forest here. I'm just waiting for that morning light to creep over the mountains to my left-hand side there and shine some light on the composition that I've found. Now the composition that I found, I was attracted to this bush here. There's a big grouping of bushes here. We've got these lovely mosses hanging off the edges of the branches, and when that morning light comes in, it looks beautiful. Now I've also introduced a log. Now this log leads from the right hand side of the frame over to the left hand side of the frame. I've said to you in the past, your eye tends to lead from left to right, so I always try and have my subject in the left hand side of the frame. Or if it's a trail, I like it going from left over to the right. So in this instance, the subject, which is these bushes with the mosses on, is going to be slightly to the left hand side. Now I'm framing the shot with a tree to my right hand side here. There's some trees, a grouping of trees to my left hand side, and that should hold in the frame. And then the main point of interest is going to be this bush. I've decided to focus stack it. I'm going to take two images. Reason being, I am quite close to the foreground here, so that's why I'm going to focus stack. I'm going to take one shot on the immediate foreground, one shot on the bush, and that's enough to grab everything in focus from front to back. Found these branches and the fallen branches and trunks and the full of these mosses. It's absolutely laden with these mosses. Because we've got this gap in the forest here, it's letting some of the ambient light from the sky come in, so it's highlighting the edge of these mosses. Now I've got this fern, it's still quite alive in the bottom left of the corner, your bottom left, and I really like the fact that it's just all alone, it's just by itself, and it adds a bit of interest in the bottom corner of the frame there. I've got this tree to my right hand side that's kind of holding the right hand side of the shot in, and I've got a larger tree to my left hand side, and that's holding the right hand side of the shot in. And then it's just going to take your eye across the forest floor. This is going to be your point of interest, leading you through to the background, where I've got some dappled light on those mosses that I liked on those bushes, just draped over the bushes. But we've also got a tree in the background. Now we've still got some of those yellow leaves in, so that's adding some colour to the background. I've been making sure that I've kept the sky out the shot, so I've got the camera tilted slightly forward, and I'm just including some of the forest in the background on the mountain side there, but I think it makes a really nice image. And the fact that we haven't got any of that harsh sunlight coming in, it gives you that nice morning feel. It's going to be a nice dark shot. You know, we're going to have these mosses, they're all going to be highlighted. It's just a nice balanced soft light. So I've got set up for my shot. We're just going to get some of that first morning light in here. Now we took a shot previous before we get any sunlight coming in, and then I'll take one after and compare the two images. I'm shooting at f11, an eighth of a second. We don't have any breeze in here, so that's great. I've got the landscape polarizer on just to make them colours a bit more vibrant, but it looks a really nice shot of what I can see on back of camera. I'm shooting with the 24mm G Master prime lens. I really enjoy using the prime. Gets you to move about a lot more with the camera, and often at times you'll come across compositions that you wouldn't if you had a longer lens on, because with a longer lens I find you tend to just point and shoot, whereas with a prime lens it gets you to move a lot about more. So yeah, it's a bit cold, so I'm going to crack on. We are getting some of that sunlight, you probably see by the side of my face. It's just starting to creep above the mountain there. We'll see how long we get in this forest before it gets a bit too bright. Well, I tried those couple of images there. I'll be interested to see how they worked out, but it looked really nice on the back of camera. Sometimes what you see on the back of camera isn't what you see on the computer when you get back home, but I'm hopeful that they've worked out. Now the sunlight did get pretty harsh, you know, it's more or less up above the mountains now. I knew this morning was going to be short-lived. I put a graduated filter in the end. It did get pretty bright in the background there, so the graduated filters just controlled the harsh sunlight that we were getting on the trees in the background. But as you'll see, the sunlight's pretty much up now. The park's getting busy, people are starting to come out to enjoy the day's sunshine. So that's the cue for me to head back to the car, get a coffee, and I'll come out again another day.